God bless you guys. Thank you for joining me today for the market update for the month of June. Hope you guys are all well. Today we're going to be talking about some things, same thing, current updates. We're going to be talking about the interest rates. We're going to be looking at numbers, anything that's important for the market of Dallas. And also we'll probably cover a few other topics too as well to help you and bless you in whatever real estate transaction you have going on. My name is Fernando Jose, and welcome to the video. So starting off, let's look at the Dallas market. What's new? What's going on? So right now, the median home price has gone down about 5.9% in comparison to the month of June last year. So right now, that price is set at $470,000 compared to about $500K by the end of May to June of last year. So this is a good sign if you're a buyer, because that means home prices are lowering, right? And there's a reason for that, which we'll talk about. Days on the market right now are averaging 37 days to sell, which has gone up by seven days from 30 days last year. That's according to Redfin, by the way. The home sold. Now, this is important. This will be important for the rest of the video. The sales have dropped 12.5% in comparison to last year. So this is an important number. The sales dropped. Inventory, 4.7 months of supply in Dallas County. This time last year, it was at 3.2 months of inventory. Again, going back to what happened last month, we're seeing the same pattern. High inventory, low sales. What does this make? A buyer's market. So right here, the market has shifted from a seller's market, and now we're looking at a full-on buyer's market off the bat, just off looking at the numbers. Now, section 2, let's talk about Dallas for a second, the DFW area. So the Dallas area inventory has gone up 53%. I believe the last time we spoke, I want to say it was 49%. This time, now we're at 53%. The listings that we have right now are at 123,000 in the DFW area. Think about that. Inventory is high once again, and we see it rising even more as compared to last month, and sales are going down. Clear favorable market for a buyer. Now, let's look at the mortgage rates, right? Everybody loves to talk about interest rates. Right now, the 30-year fixed rate mortgage it's been pretty consistent for the most part. It's still staying around that 6.7, 6.8% area. It's settling down slightly. So right now, this is back in balance because of inflation risk, right? And it's staying around this range just because of the inflation risk, right? It's not extreme, but they do want, most lenders are typically going to look for that, calculating and putting into consideration the possibility of inflation. Okay? Again, not extreme, but enough to have caution over. Now, what does this mean for a Dallas buyer? The monthly payments, because the interest rates are not what people are used to. A lot of people are still hesitant on that. A lot of people are hesitating from buying because of the interest rates, waiting for them to go down. I know, for example, where I live at, the interest rate we were able to lock on, but this was back in the day, was around 3%. A lot of people are used to that, 3%, 4%. Back then, 5% was high, but if you look at it now, it's a steal. And we're still seeing that hesitation from a lot of buyers in the market over the interest rates. But we have to consider a lot of things, right? We have to consider what's going on. We have to consider what's going on with the economy, the tariffs, the rumors that we're hearing, and all the conflict that's going on. Again, realistically, from a real estate perspective, we always say this, the best time to buy is as soon as you can. Now, I believe there's more people, from what we're seeing, there's more people starting to become more accustomed to this new interest rate. Because realistically, according to, again, everything that's going on, it's more likely that the interest rates will keep rising rather than us seeing a return to that 5, that 4%, realistically, right? But we work with a lot of lenders. We have many different areas of expertise in this. So if you're curious or wondering, what kind of interest rates can I find with my credit, or how can I get a lower interest rate on my mortgage, anything like that, you can refer to us. We're your experts. So if you have any questions, you can always feel free to contact us or your local agent. Now, let's move on to our next section. Advice for our buyers and advice for our sellers. So if you're a buyer, because of the market we're in, again, you're in a good position. If you feel like you've saved up your money, if you feel like you're at a place where maybe you're looking to get a new place, maybe an upgrade, maybe you're looking to make an investment, maybe you have some cash that you're sitting on that's not going nowhere. Inflation is, I believe, 3% a year, right? So if you're holding on to money, now's the best market, right? The best market, the best time to be purchasing a property. Why? Because now you're able to have more seller concessions. Because there's high inventory, it means in order for a house to sell, it's more competitive for the seller, meaning they have to either lower a price or have some sort of concession to attract a buyer. So right now for buyers, maybe you can start making offers that are a little bit lower than what the listing price is. You have room to negotiate. You can be, again, not disrespectful, but you can be slightly more aggressive with your negotiating. Anything like repairs, if you have any repairs that you want to do, you can push for them because the market is favorable to you. If you're working with an agent like us, that's what we'll do. We'll fight for you, right? We're trying to look at the overall market, the area, the type of house, all these things in order to find you the best price, the best deal, and with the best benefits, with the most concessions, right? Now, if you're a seller, my advice to you is do not make the price, do not list at a price that is based on your emotions. No. If you make a price that is too high, what many people believe is that if they price high, they can negotiate down to the number that they're actually looking for. Now, this may have been the case a few years ago, but not anymore. What happens if you price high is that it'll sit on the market for way longer than you expect. And when a property sits on the market for too long, then it majority of the times is going to end up going for a price even lower than the number that you're looking for, because it leaves room for negotiation because it's been sitting on the market too long. It just never looks good. It's never appealing to a buyer. Never. So whenever you're trying to come up with a price, look at the comps. Us as real estate agents, this is what we do. We do CMAs, comparative market analysis. We present them to our clients and we give them a price according to the market, according to the properties being sold in the area, not a price based off of emotions or how much you love the property. I'm sorry. But according to what it can actually go for, according to what other properties are actually going for. This is very important because we see this a lot on the day-to-day. Of course, you love your property. Of course, you want the most out of it. But if you price it unrealistically, if you price it off of emotion, it can hurt you a lot more than you think. So sellers, be prepared. More than 40% more inventory in the area. So it's more competitive to get your property sold. It's important to work with a real estate agent that can market it the best. Anybody like myself, for example, I do social media marketing, right? I do this. So you have to go with an agent that you believe, especially if it's a property that may not be the most attractive or not the most attractive area. It's important to go with an expert that can put your property before as many eyes as possible. That's my recommendation. Now, just to talk about what's going on, politics. We're seeing inflation linked to oil prices, all these things. Thankfully, because Dallas is an area that's very corporate. There's so much business going on in Dallas. We have one of the busiest airports in the world. Dallas is a very booming city, and we're very blessed to live in this area. So we can feel a bit safe in Dallas, at least for the time being, from what we can see. Just because of all the business that's going on. I know there's a lot of fear, a lot of rumors going around, but it's important to also remain calm, remain composed with everything that's going on. I wouldn't say there's any huge need to make any extreme or drastic measures as far as selling or buying. It's important to be composed when making a big decision, whether to sell, whether to buy, right? And it's important to be educated in a timely sense, anything like that. Two things that I want to talk about is that federal rate cut might happen. It says late 2025. Also in July typically more homes hit the market for families, just because back to school things that are going on. These are things to look forward to as well. So my recommendation with everything that's going on is, if you start strategizing now, if you start, for example, investors, usually when people are in a state of panic, where people are hesitant, those are the best markets to tap into. That's usually when you see the best deals going on. For example, the mortgage crisis not too long ago, a few years ago, a lot of people invested then, and many people thought it wasn't a good time to invest because of all the panic, all the things going on. But then at the end of the day, they came out on top. So again, strategy now beats panic later, right? So it's important to be connected to people who know real estate. We know real estate, and it's important to be connected to, stay connected with your family, stay connected with your community, be helpful with one another, because there's a lot of negative emotions, there's a lot of negativity, division going around. But at the end of the day, it's important to remain calm. We're very blessed. Dallas is a very blessed area, and just to stay in prayer, stay in harmony with one another. But that's the end of the video. I hope you guys are up to date, with everything that's going on. I hope this video helped you. If you're buying, selling, whatever you need, you can always contact us. We're more than willing to help you. That's our main goal, is to be able to help families, whether it's buying, whether it's in selling, or whether it's to invest. So God bless you guys. I hope you guys have a wonderful month, wonderful week. Look forward to the shorts that'll be coming out, and God bless you. Bye-bye.